I'd like to welcome our Chairman of the Board, Mr. Jason Jones, to officially welcome all of you guests here to the Hub.
Wow, what a turnout. Thank you all for coming. It looks fantastic to actually fill this space. It is a big space, but it's great to have you all here. And it's so wonderful to have so many black businesses and allies here to officially launch the NTIBN Business and Employment Hub. It's also great to see members of the Territory Parliament, thank you very much, in attendance, who recognise the importance of this moment to economic development in the Northern Territory. We promise you our hub will be nation leading. Together we have recognised the need to accelerate economic opportunity for our people and the Territory. We've activated a regional solution that will deliver a quality Indigenous business services platform for real, self-determined economic growth. I think it's also important to talk about why Aboriginal business enterprises are important, why this investment in services for us and by us is important. And I'd like to tell you about my own business story as an example of how we are different to mainstream businesses. We have 9 Indigenous apprentices, including our first Indigenous female apprentice, and 28 full-time Aboriginal employees right across the Territory. We've so far delivered 2 qualified Indigenous tradespeople in carpentry. I've lived with my employees and worked with them on the tools, beside them, to create a safe and structured spaces our people need to succeed and do well. At Ruska Developments, we have created a workforce that is a family. We look after our people and understand the pressures from community that comes with them to work every day. And we make that space for that and support the building of skills to deal with those pressures. Today, as the Chairman of NTIBN, I'm so pleased to be here to welcome you all to launch the 100% Aboriginal-owned, Northern Territory-owned Business and Employment Hub. Certified members, our hub belongs to you. Our hub is everything we need for a self-determined, vibrant and innovative black economy. Thank you.
There's certainly a lack of opportunity at times for Aboriginal businesses because of their size and the nature of their business, and they might not get that opportunity. NTIBN provides support and can advocate and provide some backup services to allow those businesses to grow. NTIBN, we've got a great resource that we've created here in Darwin with the actual hub itself, which allow businesses to utilise the space. We've also got centres through Katherine, Tennant Creek and Alice Springs now where other businesses in the region.
So for me, it is about having that culturally safe space for Indigenous people to come to, knowing that they'll be able to feel comfortable to ask any questions. It is a lot different to the way non-Indigenous people run businesses, and we won't feel silly for the way that we do things. We'll walk beside you. We're not just going to throw you out and give you a bit of information and let you walk off. There is that way of coming back and asking questions, and you can come back as many times as you like. As you start and as you grow and as you become more confident in running your business.
Thanks so much, Jason. That was really beautiful. I think your example around what it is that we do differently is really important for us to remember in the back of our minds, the impact of Aboriginal business. Before we kick into our next guest, we'd like to talk to the why of NTIBN as a provider, and we've got a short video that features some of our members.
Being an NTIBN member is great because it's a grassroots network that started from the ground up, so it's been a big journey for everybody to get to the point where we are today.
And often it's that grassroots engagement which really need to start the discussion and look at what the base is that people are developing from.
I've been a member of NTIBN for 4 to 5 years now. During that time it's been a great experience working with NTIBN, and a lot of opportunities have presented themselves during that time. I had a lot of great networking opportunities, networking with local Indigenous businesses but also national Indigenous businesses, and we've built some really strong relationships.
We enjoy being an NTIBN member because of the information they provide, especially being an Indigenous business, and also get-togethers with other businesses, not only in the central region, but other areas of the NT that may also be able to get involved and promote our business.
I love about being part of the NTIBN network and being a member is the fact that we have like-minded people coming together who really are focusing on what Aboriginal businesses look like in the 21st century.
I'd like to invite now the National Indigenous Australian Agency Deputy CEO for Operations and Delivery, Mr James Christian.
I'm a proud Wiradjuri First Nations person from central southwestern New South Wales. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians and owners of this country, including the Larrakia people, who are the custodians of this beautiful land on which this hub stands. The Minister for Indigenous Australians, the Honourable Linda Burney, MP, couldn't be here with us tonight, but she has recorded the following message.
I want to send a big congratulations to you all on the opening of the Northern Territory Indigenous Business and Employment Hub. I'm sorry I can't be there in person. I've got to be down south spreading the word about how the Voice will recognise our people and help improve lives by making sure our people are heard. The hub is going to play such an important role in supporting our mob, building businesses, creating jobs, and making sure our youth have the skills they need to pave their own way. That's how we'll deliver economic security for our people and our communities. The Commonwealth Government is contributing $10 million towards this hub. That's money that's well spent. But we didn't go it alone. I want to give a big thank you to all of those who helped make this hub happen. The Northern Territory Government, the Central and Northern Land Councils, and the Northern Territory Indigenous Business Network, and all of those passionate people and organisations, many of those in this room who made it happen. I know that with the leadership and contribution of the First Nations business community and the passion and talent that those who use and support the hub will bring, we can make sure that our mob and our communities can thrive well into the future. Thank you all so much.
It's really exciting to be here. This is the fourth hub that we're launching under the Australian Government's Indigenous Business Sector Strategy. The first was in Sydney, the second was in Perth, the third was in Adelaide, and this is the fourth. As you heard from the Minister, the Australian Government's committed $10 million in funding to the hub, and we do believe that it will have a lasting impact. To get here tonight has required a lot of work and strong collaboration to build the vision. It's had to be informed by the community, and it's only been achieved by working closely with the Northern Territory Indigenous Business Network. The work, particularly that Jerome and the team are doing, is not only directly relevant to the Northern Territory, but it's also extremely relevant to the work that happens at a domestic and potentially even a global level. We believe that this hub is crucial in assisting us to recognise and realise the opportunities that come with being economically independent and prosperous as First Nations people. At that point in which we decide how we house our people, we decide how we employ our people, we decide how we educate our people, we determine how we support our families to stay together. So it will be great to see as the doors open and more entrepreneurs come through, and the products or the product of that being that we've got increased numbers of Indigenous business owners employing more Indigenous people, because we do know all the research shows that Indigenous businesses are more likely to employ Indigenous people.
And for those of you out there, yes, we're the fourth hub, but I'll tell you what we're the first at. We are the first Aboriginal-owned hub, and that's important. Very, very proud of that, and really, really glad for the support from the Commonwealth. The NTIBN is a members-based organisation, built on the advocacy to build a vibrant Aboriginal business sector. We certify Aboriginal businesses, we look after allies, but the idea is to create the services to support Aboriginal business growth in the Territory. The vision for the hub is that it's a one-stop shop that will deliver all the business enabling services for our people, or point them in the right directions to get them, from pre-startup right through to advanced and sophisticated businesses that are looking to diversify.
We hope for the hub to deliver services to our members such as grants, support, business planning, crisis management and financial services.
So at NTIBN we are about advocacy, we're about black procurement, putting Aboriginal businesses front and centre to make sure that they're not missing out on opportunities, that people know who they are, and really putting black businesses on the map.
The Aboriginal business industry shows a lot of opportunity and a lot of potential to be able to keep growing to the point where we can provide knowledge and pass down knowledge and wealth to our future generations.
It will do what our business members need. So when our clients come to us, our Aboriginal businesses come to us and say we need some support, the hub will find a way to provide the support that is necessary for their business to grow and thrive.
It feels incredible to finally be here in this moment where we're opening the NTIBN Indigenous Business and Employment Hub, our beautiful space, finally be open to all of our members, but as well as our ally members and general public who are looking for those supports. To be able to have this one-stop shop finally here, it's been a 5-year journey to get here, but we're absolutely stoked with the end product and we can't wait to share it with everyone.
This is a really exciting day to see the Northern Territory Indigenous Business Hub open today. We can see here that all the Aboriginal businesses that are here to support this hub. It's really great that the support we've seen from the Commonwealth Government, but also the Northern Territory Government as well.
I'm really proud and excited to see the office finally open, and I'm really excited to see our members who get to come in and see it for the first time, and the excitement on their face will be fantastic.
We're really excited. Their entire team have done a lot of work over the last few years to bring this to fruition. We're really proud as a government to support it. We know that the more businesses we have up and running from an Indigenous perspective, the more Indigenous people are going to be employed and the better off the Territory is going to be.
Jerome and Naomi represent a new wave of leadership in black excellence who have already made their mark to drive real systems change. I'd like to thank Jason Jones and all the board members for your commendable leadership. NTIBN has grown significantly in recent years, and the board's stewardship under Mr Jones in setting the strategic direction of the organisation has been crucial to its success. The launch of this hub represents an important milestone. We only have to see around us here today the amazing black businesses that are here. And this is because, as Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and indeed many Territorians, we often think about the challenges our mob face and the complexities and cycles of despair. We often think about this state of stuckness, our apparent inability to make progress against seemingly intractable problems. I know from my own observations and what people talk about on the Black Vine, but also in more formal forums, is the incredible value of black excellence and NTIBN and its leadership it brings. And this leadership is reflected from the executive and all staff, from the board and to members, and across the regions of the Territory.
Thanks, Duran. I think getting a little bit teary there thinking about all the work that our members and our families do to create this economy, this vibrant black economy, and thank you for that recognition. Next up, we've got the Honourable Paul Kirby, who's the Minister for Business, Jobs and Training. He's our Minister, and I know he's also a great supporter of Aboriginal business and in the Northern Territory, and I'm sure he's as excited as we are about the launch of this hub.
What you've been able to do through the network and to pull the hub together in this period of time, and the respect that you've earned through your lives on the journey to be here, where you know you should be, leading Aboriginal people and into business, that's absolutely respected by everybody through the Territory, and something that we will leverage off as a government to make sure that we do the best that we can. The Territory is a unique place. We all know that. We've got a cabinet that is majority female in the Northern Territory. That wouldn't happen anywhere else. We've got a number of Indigenous people in our parliament. the percentage of Indigenous people within our caucus is probably close to half. That wouldn't happen anywhere else. So it is tough going in the Northern Territory. Each and every one of you that do business in the Northern Territory know how hard it is. But when outcomes and when people put their minds to it, the right result can happen. And the right result is happening here, and I congratulate everybody that has been involved. I was extremely proud with Minister Yubo last year to be able to announce those Aboriginal procurement policies and be nation leading in that 51% benchmark to make sure that Aboriginal businesses do get the best opportunities to get the first crack at big tenders and big programs of work and big procurements that we have, because we know as we've said before, Indigenous businesses just do a better job of employing Indigenous people. I'm probably going to go out on a limb and say that we can do better to make some of those connections absolutely on the ground, to make sure that we do train as many people as we possibly can across the Territory and get as many Aboriginal people into businesses and into those training programs and working across the Territory. So to Jerome, Naomi, Deb, Jason and all of the board, all of your team, congratulations. This is an absolutely stunning space. It will be the home for a lot of people, for a lot of businesses, the birth of a lot of things that will be great things through the Northern Territory, and we all from the Northern Territory Government look forward to investing and working really, really closely with you. Thank you very much for allowing me to be a part of it.
It's a great space, new, it's fresh. And I think it'll really kick off for most black businesses, bringing their businesses here on show.
It'd be really nice to be able to come in and network with the other businesses, and obviously use the spaces, even do some workshops.
I'm excited about this beautiful space here because it gives me the opportunity of not taking meetings in my car at lunchtime anymore. I was just so appreciative that I could pop in the aircon and in a private space and take some calls with the potential stockists, which I'm looking to try and grow as part of my business.
I really love that NTIBN are advocating for Indigenous businesses at a higher level, especially in government with procurement contracts. And I also love that they connect us to other businesses. When you're first starting out, you often get bogged down and caught in your own world and in your own silo. But I find that when I come out and liaise with the other businesses in the NTIBN network, it brings greater opportunities.
Here at NTIBN, we're ready to support as many people who are keen, who have a micro enterprise that's their side hustle while they've got their full-time job, and we want to turn that into their main hustle, so they're creating intergenerational wealth. Commerce and trade and export aren't new concepts to Aboriginal people. We've been doing it since time immemorial with the Macassans. So we want to, in the long term, to be able to have a presence across the Territory. If the Northern Territory Government's going to build its $40 billion economy by 2030, unlocking the Aboriginal estate is going to be absolutely critical. It's time for us to step up and be the voice for our mob and for government and everyone else to listen and come on board the journey. But to be able to run business enterprise on country and actually live on country, which is what they want to do. So for us, that's a long-term vision, and we think that's going to be the silver bullet in how we legitimately close the gap. The table's been designed by Manapan, who designed the different regions of the NT in the table and in the carvings and woodwork that represent the Arnhem Land region, the Top End region, the Tiwi region, all the way down to our desert region in Central Australia. And, I'm really excited about the conversations and the opportunities, the synergies that will start to flow across this table. Here we are in our beautiful NTIBN Indigenous business and employment space. What an incredible journey it's been to get here. I want to begin by thanking the NTIBN board, especially Jason Jones. So, in the lead up to me joining NTIBN in October, I might need one of Ben's deadly waters there, Kakadu waters. Joined NTIBN in 2020, October. I met with Jason and the then Deputy Chair, Steve Ludwig, to be able to have their support for someone who was quite young, who felt really green in their journey, to have your backing and support to bring this vision of the board to life. has been absolutely incredible. The vision has been a 5-year vision for the board and a 5-year journey to get here. One that's been really staunch and unapologetic from the board to say, we want to have our own Indigenous business hub that's a one-stop shop model for all of our members, for all of our businesses, to unlock our economic independence and create real self-determination, to be able to run business on country, to be able to support the next generations coming through, as Jason told his story and how he's changing lives through the apprenticeships that they're providing. The successes and challenges that we've had along the way through the delivering the Northern Territory Government's the 10th Aboriginal Economic Development Conference in Alice Springs, it really set us on our way, and it really put a big spotlight that we're ready, we're here, and Aboriginal businesses are just absolutely hungry for the opportunities. I also want to acknowledge the wonderful partners and the Indigenous businesses who we engaged through this process to build this beautiful design. M&J Builders, the wonderful Jess and Mick Buckley. You guys were absolutely fantastic to work with. Manapan, for the beautiful board table and what the space we've created up the front there. I really appreciate it. Ben and your team, Alistair at Alper, and the work you guys are doing. That's been leading that journey. You guys have been leaders in the Aboriginal economic development space for a long time now, and a lot of us look to the trailblazers and the businesses that you are creating on country, the real jobs, to be able to see the master craftsmen doing this beautiful work out on Millingimpy and some of the most remote communities to produce this high-end, high-quality, beautiful furniture. We're just absolutely excited about the creativity, the innovation and the conversations that are going to flow across that beautiful statement board piece table. So thank you, Ben. We gave you a unique space to work within, and we said just go for it. So I really appreciate your work and your leadership.
NTIBN came to us looking for a special boardroom table for their Indigenous and Employment Hub. It was a little bit of a challenging proposal because it was an awkward shaped room, but we went back to our design team and they actually proposed quite an intriguing design, but the shape of the table was actually influenced by the shape of Millingimpy, so it's something the team knows really well. And because of NTIBN's work across all of the Northern Territory, the team then proposed the special motif in the middle will feature 6 different carved elements to represent the 6 major regions of the NT. It wasn't just one piece, we did a full suite, which was great for some of those more simple projects, were great for some of our more low-skilled guys on the island to actually be engaged and be a part of this project. Manapan started life in Millingimpy because Millingimpy has one of the highest unemployment rates in Australia, and that's not because people don't want to work, it's because there is no employment opportunities. Manapan comes along and we provide opportunities in the community, and that, in the long term can be quite transformative.
Also to Winya, to all the beautiful furniture. When Naomi was thinking this through, we wanted our mob, we wanted our business to walk in and be like, oh, I feel like I'm at home. I feel like I'm amongst my mob. I'm in a space where we can talk business. We can actually think about big opportunities, about what's possible in the future. Then partnering with amazing businesses like Going North, Sean Edwards down the back there, who also helped us do our beautiful logo redesign. You guys have been fantastic, Sean, and as a young Larrakia man yourself, you're absolutely showing the future generations what is possible. So thank you, Sean. I'd also like to thank Ironbark Aboriginal Corporation, who is our partner to deliver the employment support services. Ironbark have been in the employment space for a long time and been doing it really well. I'd also like to acknowledge Sean Drab, CEO of the Department of Industry, Tourism and Trade, and Kath White for your support in giving us a home and a space to call our own. We're really grateful for the work you guys have done behind the scenes to support us and to be able to have this wonderful space. So thank you for your leadership and your support. Finally, I want to conclude by taking a moment to acknowledge the generations that have gone before us. The stolen generations. The generations and individuals who had their wages stolen. We as Aboriginal people were not afforded the opportunity to capitalise on the wealth of the land. Aboriginal people had a very different relationship with the land, and we saw its value in a different manner. The generations that went before us, who did not have the ability to get an education, to earn a wage that allowed them to access home ownership, let alone start a business. Aboriginal people have not had the same ability to generate wealth, let alone hand wealth down to the next generation. What we do today is for those who could not, and for the generations to come. We know we're a really young population here, Aboriginal people in the Territory. You know, the average age is 25. We make up 50% of the school-based population, but we make up 100% of the youth incarceration system. This is why we really believe in what we do, creating real jobs on country, creating, through our businesses, through you as the members, creating opportunities on country for people to legitimately have a job, to legitimately be upskilled, and to be able to live on country and see a future, to have a sense of place and purpose in their community. This is our time, Black businesses, this is your space, this is your hub, and thank you.